Hello world of YouTube, and welcome to another episode of Redacted, a special episode of Redacted, the show where I take a look at records that have a solid foundation, but a spotty execution. And it is special because we are amidst the month of Wu-Bruary, a time that I'm deciding to set aside and dedicate a handful of videos to one of my favorite hip-hop groups, the Wu-Tang Clan. And luckily for me, when it comes to the Wu-Tang Clan, they do have potential for projects to get redacted. Right now I want to take you guys to 1997. 4 years out from 36 Chambers, the group has flourished out into their own solo venture, shown that they are not just a shot in the pan, one and done great group. There's a lot of great artistry within the ranks of the Wu-Tang Clan. There's a lot of talent. Artists like Raekwon and Ghostface are thriving in their own pockets. ODB is already doing his thing at this point. A lot of the stuff that I talked about in my classic breakdown of Gravediggaz is happening right now, but obviously when you're a part of a group, even if you are throttling in your own solo realms, there gets to be a need, a desire for you and your friends to come together once again and drop another smash. The group tried to do that in 1997 and created what I would say is a pretty underwhelming experience with mad potential. So much so that it is the subject of today's episode of Redacted. It is their 1997 sophomore outing, Wu-Tang Forever.
Shackling the masses with drastic rap tactics. Graphic displays melt the steel like blacksmiths. Black Wu jackets, Queen Bees, Easter.
Now I will say, I could see some of the arguments that the beefiness of the album isn't the only problem with Wu-Tang Forever, but it is almost 2 hours long. And there is a lot of tracks that go nowhere. So my biggest goal with this video is to trim the fat, create an engaging, fun experience that has some callbacks to 36 Chambers while also expanding their own proverbial sonic palette and show off some of the chemistry that had been blossoming out in the solo ventures post 36 Chambers. Sure, the album still has a kind of inconsistent lo-fi touch that I could see turning some people away, but I feel like if you want the best representation of what Wu-Tang Forever was, that is this Redacted. And my version is 14 songs at 53 minutes, so I trimmed almost an hour out of this project, and I'm going to go ahead and break down the track listing after I show you the tracks that I kept.
The whole shit was set up, shut up. Whole fam want the science and the letter. It got back to me. Some niggas in life is like video footage. Hard to edit. Directors, they never understood it. To impose animes, something shice like 7 butcher knives. Rolling Rover style twice. Finger itchy like blade stoppers. Blow that cat at the Purple Haze spot.
I remember sticking fiends at the 162.
With no doubt, you took time searching. Eventually, it was prime urgent for you to examine the rhyme merchant.
Get it, that's the ticket. Silent 9 sounding like cricket. Snatch a working shipment, pull of air. Long dick after round twice. Smash the Gilligan boat with ice. They do sign language. Ordered hot coffee with a Danish.
Like Roberta Black, words attack like a British bulldog. Observe the stats.
You might make me a felon. My eyeballs swelling. My nuts start yelling. Excuse me.
Pipeline LPs delivered with style and potential. Niggas flowing smoothly in a sequential.
Life away.
Smoke your life away.
Fuck your life away.
Dream your life away.
Oh shit, you my man's niece. Some gourmet pockets, one in bones made of clay. Sescapades take
Pot and blow spots, you wanna think twice, I think not. The iron lung ain't got to tell you where it's coming.
But you know us, we play it calm, humble, you know what I mean?
Now, one of the biggest problems I faced when it came to trimming this album is that there are a handful of tracks that mention that this is a double LP. It's a 2-album experience, and I cut a lot of them. You'll still hear some references here and there in some of the lyrics, but I more wanted to just create an experience that was all killer, no filler, Wu-Tang as fuck. Sadly, there aren't many great starting points that they made. They made an intro that then goes into Reunited. And while fans of the record may find it weird that I didn't keep Wu Revolution as the opener, because again, it feels like the only song that could open this record, I feel like it, as a concept, acts as the biggest showcasing of some of the cruxes that the record has. I think that the song has a great message that I did keep in pockets of the record as a whole, and I keep a lot of the imagery and sort of world building through skits and stuff that happens on the album, but I took Wu Revolution out, if only because I don't think it's a good opening track. I think it's very lengthy and long, and while it has a lot to say, I feel like it does a good job at saying a lot of it in the album itself, while also embodying a lot of what made Wu-Tang great as well. You know, I could see somebody putting Wu Revolution as the closer instead of the closing, but I did not do that. Instead, I cut Wu Revolution and made Little Ghetto Boys the opener, if only because it was the only song that had a fade in into like a sort of skit, which is a great song, and I feel like is a great, leaner, energetic cut to kind of kick the record off on an energetic foot, but I could see it being jarring to those that are well familiar with Wu-Tang Forever. It's got a great sample in its hook, and it embodies a lot of some of the pockets that made 36 Chambers work, but in kind of a different way. I then bleed into Reunited, which was the second track on the original, and it's just a great posse cut that has everybody just hopping in, channeling what made 36 Chambers great from a rapper perspective, with some great fucking fiddling happening on there. There's a fiddle solo in there that just gets me going every single time. It's weird as fuck, but I love it. Going from the sort of boldness of Reunited, I wanted to channel a nice another little pocket, which I did with a great 1-2 punch of Visionz and Cash Duel Rules, which showcase not only Method Man and Raekwon's chemistry on full display, but you also got Ghostface and Master Killa coming in the mix and showing why they also can embody just these really cool sounding instrumentals. I love the backwards sample on Visionz. I think it bleeds in really well from Reunited before bleeding really well into Cash Rules. And I think Cash Rules, with its fade out, lended to a good introduction to one of the few ODB driven cuts that I kept. As High as Wu-Tang Get, which has a hook from ODB, it's got a verse from ODB. You know, ODB doesn't crop up on this record quite as much as he did on 36 Chambers. Master Killa kind of comes in and picks up some of the slack there. But I think that As High as Wu-Tang Get not only bleeds really well in from Cash Still Rules, but creates a more fun moment in the mix that I feel like was represented pretty well on 36 Chambers and kind of did take a backseat in parts of Wu-Tang Forever. This is a part that I wanted to kind of let that ring true. But from the goofiness of As High as Wu-Tang Get, I do put it into more of a grounded sense after that with the projects. While I cut the city, I kept the projects because I think it's a great song. Again, like Little Ghetto Boys, it's good at setting a stage and painting a picture. I really love Raekwon and Method Man's verses on the song. I think that the hook, it does its job, and it's a good hook-driven song. You know, As High as Wu-Tang Get tries to kind of go for that in a goofy way, but I feel like the projects just has a good sort of just smoothness to it that I think leads really well actually into the M.G.M, a song that I wanted to use to showcase one of the great pairings that stemmed from 36 Chambers in the form of Raekwon and Ghostface Killa. They did Iron Man, they did Cuban Links, they were just doing great shit. And M.G.M is a showcase of that. It's a point where it just showcases why these two rappers work really well together, while kind of getting flashy at points in a fun way. And speaking of chemistries, I wanted to go from M.G.M to For Heaven's Sake, a song that I was really torn on if I wanted to include it or not, but it is a song that showcases three members of the Wu-Tang Clan that didn't really have as much prolificness between records. You know, Capadonna, Inspector Deck, and Master Killa didn't really, I mean, they shined in their own ways, but like this gave them a chance on a group effort to shine, and I wanted to keep it here. I like the sample in the hook. I like the layering in the instrumental, but I think the instrumental has some wonky bits in it, but it is a song that I felt like should be here, because again, it's a group piece, and this is a chance for parts of the group to shine, you know, before going into another ODB-driven cut of Maria. Two tracks that, again, I think bleed really well into each other, For Heaven's Sake, into Maria. And while I like ODB and Capadonna on it, and the RZA has some good wordplay in his verse, I don't think it matches the sort of debaucherous level that I think ODB and Capadonna are channeling on the song. But it's a song that, again, I wanted to have an ODB focused song, and this is the other one that I kept in here before going into a great, well-constructed posse cut in the form of Severe Punishment, a song that has really good verses from pretty much everybody on board with a great instrumental. It's just a really good song that, again, showcases that the group strengths weren't just on 36 Chambers, baby. But from Severe Punishment, I go into a song that is really good and has a great message at its core that also has sort of an extension of importance later on in Wu-Tang's career in the form of A Better Tomorrow, the song that they would name their most recent, as of late, released collective group album. But it's a song that has a good message at its heart about potentially living it up and partying in an addictive sense could pass on to your kids in a negative sense. Same with, you know, gangbanging and stuff like that. How that could, you know, become a problem amongst your kids, you know. Before going into one more lean-ass jam with older gods, with Ghostface, Raekwon, and GZA just throwing out heat. Before Triumph comes in, I wanted to have another posse cut, another big, bold posse cut. This is the song where Inspector Deck wrote the verse that inspired the group to scrap theirs. You know, it was a single. It was one of my favorite posse cuts of all time, and I wanted it to be the penultimate, or really the final song, because after that it's just the closing, which just has Raekwon talking about Wu-Tang Clan in general, and I think it's a good sort of closer to the project. But Triumph is a great, you know, show-stopping finale. It's got everybody here. They're spitting some great heat over a really good beat from the RZA, and again embodies that King of the Hill rap mindset that was done so very well in 36 Chambers, and has a nice pocket of it represented here. But that's my version of Wu-Tang Forever. What did you think about it? If you'd like to listen to it, it's linked in the description, both a YouTube and Spotify link. If you like this video, be sure to give it a like. If you want to see more of my music, gaming, and general notary content, be sure to subscribe. Special thanks to my patrons if you want to join the ranks to get early access to content, exclusive content, or to help drive the community. It's linked in the description. I'm going to get out of here, though. Thank you again so very much for watching and for the support. I've been Viral Rack. You guys have good days, lives, and situations, and I'll see you another day.